off to a good start.
Great start.
You're not making it easier. Oh my god.
Look at you. Okay, wait, let me mute my Slack messages.
That's very work boss of you.
I know.
I guess I should have had a drink. It would have been easier. Little Monday.
Little Monday, pick me up.
My god, it will take a minute. Hi, my name is Katya and this is Girl Boss in Style podcast, and today is the very first Girl Boss in Style interview episode. And before I introduce you to my guest, whom you can already see, I want to quickly tell you that my idea behind Girl Boss in Style interviews is to interview women who have their own businesses, brands, podcasts or careers, so they can share their own stories, ideas, tips and tricks, and hopefully inspire others to start their own thing. And of course, we will talk about fashion and style. So without further ado, meet Maya, the host of Mood or Vibe. We're already having the time of our life.
No, we really are.
Maya, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. This is like the most serious podcast setup I've ever been in. Considering I've had a podcast for many years, it's a little bit intimidating.
Well, thank you.
I'm a little bit scared.
I'm literally like, the more I'm trying not to stress, the more sweaty I get. But let's just do it.
We'll be sweating together.
Anyway, well, since it's Girl Boss in Style, could you tell us what are you wearing?
I'm straight from work, but Girl Boss in Style. I'm wearing thrifted like black plain pants, and then I love these tops. They're actually from Zara, which like...
Are you like the one that you put it
you
back?
You wear it backwards.
I saw this.
Look at it. It's the perfect boat neck.
I saw this
shirt.
TikTok.
And you can also wear them the other way, and they're just like a cute like going out top. But I have this in white and in black because I wear them all the time, and I can wear them to work, and they're so versatile.
I saw this TikTok, and I was like, it feels like I need to go to Zara, because I remember like even like 10 years ago, all of my friends used to wear those, but other way. And I wasn't feeling it. But
I never understood it. But backwards?
Perfect.
Game changer. And then on top, it's actually from Balmuir. I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, Balmuir. Yeah.
I thrifted it. 100% cashmere. I've been wanting one of these like cashmere hoodies because I think it's kind of like Loro Piana, like... Sophia Richie.
I was about to say quiet luxury.
Quiet luxury, like to be wearing like 100% cashmere. And I really like the fit of it. And this was like originally like 280 euros or something. And I got it for 64.
Good.
Which is like still not a cheap thrift find. But I was like, for a cashmere sweater that I'm actually going to wear for the rest of my life, it's worth it.
But I noticed that the Balmoor usually, or Balmoor, we don't know how to say it. It's even on the thrift store, they're always like at a good price. Yeah. But cashmere, worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Right? I was like 100% cashmere. And it's just, I only wear black basically, or black and white most of the time. So like, this is actually perfect for me. I'm going to wear it every single day of life.
That's what I'm trying nowadays. Nowadays, I'm trying to switch to only black and white because I feel like I have such a colorful wardrobe. And I'm like, it's so much easier with black and white. And I feel like it's just Sophia Richie getting to my head also.
Right? Well, for the longest time, I was like, am I just like following a trend by just like wearing black all the time? I was like, have I just like consumed too much Brenda hashtag content for me to be like, I only wear black? But I honestly, if you look at what I wear the same 4 things.
Over and over.
Over and over and over.
Very sustainable of you.
I try.
Good.
No, but it's just like, I kind of gave up on like trends in a sense where it's like, obviously this is like kind of trendy, but it's like trendy in the sense that it's a black zip up hoodie that's 100% cashmere. Like I'm actually going to be able to wear this for the rest of my life. Like I don't think this is ever going out of style unless we decide like zippers or something are canceled. But like that's
what I'm so scared. Like my fear is all the time if I buy something new and I was like, I'm not following a trend and I'm doing a lot of work not to follow on trends. But then I like every time I buy something, I'm like, Katya, if tomorrow you wake up and it will be decided that it's cancelled, like get over it. It's like it's not that serious. You bought it, you love it, so if they cancel it's their thing. But also like
it's like I still am like a person in a society, and like I don't want to be the odd one out. You know what I mean? Like I still want to fit in, but that's what I'm saying. Like wearing just like basic black clothes all the time, I will always fit in kind of. I just want to wear, I don't know. It's a little bit like gothic of me sometimes, especially if I like, because I don't have the eyebrows and everything, but I like it, whatever.
At this point, it's been like 15 minutes talking about the Balmer zip up, so they can as well like sponsor you or something.
Please, Balmer.
Well,
we can't even say the brand name. We're like, please.
We will learn.
Teach us, please. We're open to learn.
Well, I feel like a teenager now. Well, for those who don't know you and who live under a rock, I feel like it's not podcast episode if you don't say live under a rock until once. Exactly. So could you tell us who is Maya?
Maya, aka Soulja Maya, aka Soulja Baby, whatever. People call me so many different things now. But yeah, I'm Maya. I kind of like do social media in a sense. I go to fashion school in Italy, and I have a podcast that I've been doing for...
How long, by the way? Sorry, we have a third...
I know, we have a third guest here today. I think since 2020, 2021, I've lost track of time. And I'm not very consistent with my podcasting currently because I have other things going on in my life. But yeah, I'll always pick up a mic and talk into it because I really do have a lot of thoughts about different things all the time. So... that's kind of who I am. But now I've been doing the short form content a lot more, like on TikTok and stuff. But
good for you. Focusing on TikTok.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm focusing on it. I still have a full-time job, so.
No, but I feel like you have such a good platform in TikTok, and like I always love when you post more because I was like, yes, do that. Use that.
Yeah, I know. But I just don't know. Not to like open up here, but like the issue that I have with TikTok right now is like, I love it. I love posting, but I'm like, I don't know what I want to post about. I don't know if I want to do like daily life content and share like me kind of as a young professional and like figuring out what I'm writing for my thesis and like showing that side, or more of like the fashion kind of content and stuff like that. But I feel like I don't fit into fashion TikTok because it's all about trends. And like I said, like I wear the same 4 things every single day. So it's like, what am I supposed to show at the end of the day? Or then the people that are really successful in fashion content, I feel like it's because they're able to sell product and True. Like kind of influence people to buy certain products. But if 80% of what I wear is from a thrift store, then I'm like, I can tell you that I love this Balmer sweater.
We can talk about it more.
And you can go and buy a new one, but that's like, I didn't buy it from there. I bought it at a much cheaper price. Like, so I feel like there's not really a space for me there in the sense, obviously like I can promote sustainability and I can tell people like, hey, like you can actually find really great high quality things for a fraction of the price by just buying it secondhand. Like I'm preaching that forever, but it just doesn't feel natural for me currently to be like sharing my outfit if I have 4 pair of pants, like different black pants that I wear, and then like 6 different black tops that I wear. It doesn't feel consistent for me to be like day by day be like, this is my outfit, because it's the same always.
But I feel like I also go through that, like you never know, but also like this pressure that in TikTok you need to fit in one, like you can't just, unless you of course have a good following, and you have a good following, so why can't you just be yourself and like post everything?
Yeah, well I kind of do that. I don't know. I think I also have this issue where it's like I see people that like style clothes in such cool ways. Like I think you also like are able to style clothes super uniquely and everything, and I'm just not that person. I will wear a pants and a shirt. And I'm not going, no, but like you genuinely do.
But I like very much, like if it's for TikTok, then I do put that. And I have been unemployed for a few months, so I had nothing else going on.
That's what it'll do.
That helped.
No, honestly, that's when I started TikTok, I was unemployed and wasn't studying anything. So guys, that's the...
I started podcast for the same reason. So many things going out of my unemployment.
And then, but it's like you just have no one to talk to, so you have to talk to a microphone and put it on the internet and just hope people listen.
Oh my God. Oh, sorry. But quickly, I wanted to tell you, like, I don't know, do you follow like Macy Macy, like Blazing Glazed? Like, I am so surprised that she, like, I'm so happy for her because she's been posting like thrifting content for years, like almost decade, and she never took like partnerships. Like, she agreed on my mom set package when I sent her because it was sustainable, but other than that she's like, I'm not taking it. And only like few months ago, like Maskina started like sending her stuff, and I was like, you literally said no for years, good for you. So now like you skipped all that and you right to the top.
No, but that's the smartest way to do it. It's like, I've done brand deals with like secondhand fashion platforms because I'm like, that's what I use and that's what I want to tell people to use. And I'll take like very few kind of like giftings from like different brands and stuff, because I don't think if I wouldn't go out of my way and actually purchase this product, why would I try and accept it for free? And then the other thing is, it's like, if I don't like, I go to Zara once a year and I buy a shirt. Like, everything else is basically secondhand, or maybe more of a luxury product, but that's very rare with me. But so I have gotten like, I'm probably not going to name the names, but like fast fashion brands have reached out and been like, hey, we'd love to send you stuff. And it's always kind of, and I've like, I will always email them back and be like, hey, these are my rates. Do you think I ever get an email back? No. They want you to post one of them. It's like,
are we going to drop names?
No. Actually, we could. Motel Rocks.
They wrote you?
Yeah.
What?
They were like, wait. Oh, like, here, pick products from this link. We would love, like, and you do like a TikTok. But in the email, it was like, you can pick 5 products. It has to be from this link. So it's like, it's product that they're trying to get rid of because they're like, it's not selling anymore.
I'm shocked because they have so much money. They have so much money.
So much money, guys. No. And so they were like, they reached out and were like, yeah, pick 5 products from this link. And then once you have like, you put in like a code or whatever, so that it's like goes to 0. So like, then once you have received your products, then we will discuss how much content you have to make for us.
What?
And I emailed them back and I was like, hey, hi, girly. But I emailed them back just being like, hey, like, thanks for reaching out. I would just like to know, like, wouldn't we agree upon how many videos I would post before you send me goods for
and
free?
And
exploit me for my fucking followers and views. But, and also in general, you can't force me to post anything if you're not paying me.
Yes.
If you're giving me free product, that's PR. You can't force me to post something.
Also, the balls of them to ask is a bit crazy.
There's other brands where they give you a like 200 euros credit and they expect you to do a full Instagram story unboxing, 1 reel and 1 feed post without payment. Just for free product from their fast fashion brand that makes everything in polyester.
So many brands can fall under. I'm just like thinking.
There's so many. But what they do is they target small creators that have maybe like definitely like under 5K on Instagram and maybe like a couple thousand on TikTok as well, because they know that they want to do these deals. And then these small creators think like, oh, well, if I start working with them now, then maybe it can build up to something bigger. And like, that might be true, but
I don't think it is.
They're just using you so that they can get like nice photos to put places, and then like the couple loyal followers that you do have will probably go out and purchase product. And also brand awareness.
I feel like it also should be so careful when you have a following, like which you get, like as you said, you're very picky, because followers will get it if you're like lying, and then it's like cancel or like buy and stuff. Like it's so easy to.
I mean, on the other hand, I do get like if you are trying to do it as a job,
of course.
Like I get people that are like, look, I need to pay rent next month. Like I need to take this brand deal or whatever. Like I 100% get that. But luckily I've never been in the position where it's like, this is my full-time job and I like actually am like reliant on doing brand deals, because I never want to do that, because it makes me so uncomfortable to think that like My TikTok account could be deleted today.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
What happens? Because that's what, like, I mentioned Blaze and Glaze, because I was thinking Maisel, she's been doing it. That's very common. She was doing it for years, and for years she said no, I guess, to millions of the paid collaborations. And I'm thinking, would I have the balls to say no? Like, at one point, the number should be so that I'm like, am I ready to sell myself and my principles? But maybe.
Maybe.
I'm being honest, like, because she has a big following, and for years she's been saying no. It's good for her. Now it's getting paid off. She's getting, like, I think a book deal, like she's writing a book, and Moschino and, like, I think Marc Jacobs, someone else, like, being sending her clothes. But she said, I think, no to so many, and I was like, I don't think I
Well, it's the same with Brenda too. Brenda # also says no to a lot of PR. And that takes a lot, honestly, because I'm like, because she has, like, big designer brands reaching out to her. I'm like, I don't know if I could say no to some of these brands.
There's also, like, a stuff from those good brands. I would be like,
That's what I keep on. Did you see how many famous people went to the Dolce & Gabbana show and posted about it? Because I need to know how much Dolce & Gabbana paid these people, because it must be a nice paycheck. Because did you see Rosie Huntington-Whiteley went but was dressed by them and posted 3 photos for them.
But everyone, and apparently they didn't, like, someone said recently that they didn't pay for Kardashian's wedding, which is like,
maybe it wasn't paid, but maybe it was gifted.
Because I think Courtney or someone said that every guest was dressed in
every guest was dressed in Dolce & Gabbana.
So
they were eating Dolce & Gabbana spaghetti out of Dolce & Gabbana plates.
But I feel like, I don't know why everyone is moved on, but I feel like everyone is moved on.
I was just shocked to see Rosie there, because I was like, she wears, like, old Celine and, like, Bottega and the Row. What is she doing at the Dolce & Gabbana show if it's not that they're paying her so much money?
So much money. But they're trying, like, so hard. I mean, like, with the Kardashians, and then after everything, you can see how much they're trying. And that's what I don't get with celebrities. They already have monies. What is the most asked or re-asked questions that is, like, people ask about you? That is a very good question.
Currently it's, how do you bleach your eyebrows?
Because I love that it's, like, video every, like, week, and I'm like, I'm getting so good at it. I never bleached my eyebrows, but I always need to watch it till the end, even though I know.
I'm like, I have consistently been filming myself bleaching my eyebrows for 2 years. It's gonna be 2 years in November. So, like, guys, there's enough content out there. And then people are like, what bleach do you use? I'm like, well, bleach. And also, please do not take my advice. You can go to the hairdresser and they'll do it. My hairdresser does mine for me. Shout out
But
Millie.
also, like, you have a light hair. I feel like if I will bleach, I did some bleaching, I will turn out was orange. But every time, because I already bleached my hair, I know, like, I will turn out was orange. But every time I see your TikTok, I'm like, is it a sign?
It is a sign. This is your sign right now, listening to this. Bleach your eyebrows.
Next thing you know, we're gonna bleach.
Next podcast episode. No, but I do tell everyone to do it, because for the longest time, I was like, why would I ever do that? Like, if I do it, I'll do it for, like, 1 week as, like, a fun thing for, like, an event or something. And then I did it kind of because my friend was doing it. And I was like, sure, I'll do it with you. And it changed my complete facial structure. I can't believe I've ever had eyebrows. No, genuinely. And the whole thing with it is, like, you don't realize it changes your whole facial feature. So it makes you look at other features and actually understand. Like, I used to hate my nose, and now I suddenly don't, because I have bleached eyebrows.
I think, like, I love it. It also gives so much style. It's crazy.
That's why I can wear the most basic outfit every day of the week.
That's actually true.
Because I have bleached eyebrows.
It just gives something. It's like very like edgy hairstyle or something. It gives. And I've been talking with the girls, and a lot of girls was like, well, I couldn't pull it off. It wouldn't go with my features. I think it's wrong. Like, I feel like everyone can go with a bleach eyebrows. It's just about making sure that you know how to bleach them, and you will bleach them and they're not gonna fall off. So exactly, if you don't know, go to hairdresser.
I've been doing it for 2 years and they haven't fallen out yet, so I think we're good. I've been doing it for 2 years by myself.
Yeah. No, but some people, this is to my best friends who know themselves. They shouldn't be trusted. But I've been now listening just to your voice, and you must be getting like thousands of DMs about your podcast, how soothing and calming your voice is.
That's true. I do get like, a lot of people are like, well, actually, when I first went to Italy, one of my friends, like the day I met her, she was like, oh my God, you have like a YouTuber voice. And I was like,
is it a thing?
I have a podcast. And she was like, no fucking way. She was like, it's perfect. I've also randomly, not to overshare.
Yes, go for it.
I've had multiple men that I've like just only spoken to, and they've been like, I'm so attracted to your voice.
Oh wait, not even like on a podcast, like in
real life, just like sitting at like a bar, they've been like, oh my God, your voice is so attractive. And I've been like, what about me? But it's like all in the past like year, it's been like 3 or 4 guys have been like, I'm so attracted to your voice.
Good for you.
I mean, I guess so, but like pay me for it then or something.
Okay, because I remember why I keep touching you. I remember the first time I listened to your podcast. It was like Corona times, and I was on my mental health walk, and people kept posting your podcast in Instagram stories, and I was like, okay, I just need to listen to it. And actually, not lying, your podcast was the first podcast I ever listened to, because I just never got to it. So
that's iconic.
Yeah, you're my first one. And I was just like, wait, that's like so soothing and calming. Also, your content, of course, was so fun for Corona depressing times. And yeah, but also like listening about like Finnish life in English was so close to me, because I don't think many people do that. So could you talk a bit more about how you started?
I mean, the podcast, the story of me starting it is actually really funny, because my dad, I was at his house and he went on vacation with his wife and her kids and left me alone in his house to take care of his dog. His house is like in the outskirts of the city. There's no bus transportation. I don't know how to drive a car. So I was quite literally stuck in his house for like a week by myself taking care of a dog. Like my only way out was like to get a taxi out. So I was just sitting bored at home. And at that point I had some TikTok followers, and people had been like, oh, like what if you do YouTube, or what if you do something like that? And I was like, YouTube, I don't know. Like the long form video content, it's too much work. It's too much work. And it's also like, I don't know. I was like, I'm sitting at home at my dad's house. Like, what would I film about my life? I was like, I don't do that much stuff. Yeah. I think it was COVID. No, he was traveling. Maybe it was like end of COVID kind of times or something, or before.
But like in Finland, it was going off and on. But
yeah. It was like kind of COVID had died out a little bit, I think. But so I was just like by myself alone in this house, and I was like, it would kind of be fun to just like record something, and then if I like it, I'll just put it up, because it's so simple to put a podcast on Spotify. And so I literally recorded it with my phone like this, just like talking into it, and then uploaded it. And then people really liked it. So then I recorded another one like 2 days later, and people really liked it. And then it like shot to be #1 on the Finnish podcast charts.
So it was like overnight success.
Kind of. And then I just kept on making like random little episodes here and there, talking about whatever I wanted. and it was like super, super casual, still all just like recorded on my phone. And then I got gifted a podcast mic for my birthday. So I did that. And
oh, that's cute.
Yeah. It's for my dad's wife. Shout out. It was a really good gift.
That's a really good gift.
And I've just continued to do it not as consistently as I used to, because I don't know, I go quite deep into like personal things and stuff like that on the podcast. So like I'm saying, like, sometimes I feel like I'm in phases where I'm growing and I feel like I shouldn't be talking about things until I've fully gone through them and maybe have like either a conclusion or like a reflective perspective thought to give on it. Otherwise, I would just be like whining on a podcast week by week, being like, I hate men or something. But I'm like, it's just because I was in a mood that week.
There's a lot of podcasts
like that. A guy hurt my feelings. And so I've been trying to like rethink my content in a sense of like, how can I consistently discuss things that I want to talk about and discuss things that are happening in my life, because I like doing that. And I'm a very like self-reflective person. So like the podcast helps with that too. But I just haven't found that balance yet. And I think like that's the difficult part about podcasting, is that like it's long form content on a weekly basis usually. So it's difficult, especially if you're doing it by yourself. I mean, you know this too now, like to sit by yourself and talk about things without kind of one-on-one interactions with people is quite difficult.
Also, like I've noticed, like I feel I've been talking for hours, but then it's like 20 minutes.
Exactly.
And I was like, wait, but I have ideas for like hours.
Yeah.
Because no one like asks you. Did you, while you're filming your first episode, did you feel like you have something like big going on? Like, did you expect to? Wow.
No.
Really?
I had like no...
Honestly.
I called it mood or vibe because I was doing Instagram polls. And then I was like, oh, this would be a funny title. Like, let me just call it that.
But that's a good name.
At this point, I think I had like literally 4,000 followers on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel like your podcast gave you followers or other way?
I don't know. I like definitely I've gotten a lot of like word of mouth kind of listeners for the podcast. Like their friends have just like told people. But no, TikTok has kind of been separate from it. Like I've never really like posted podcast clips or stuff. Like I've posted like a couple funny clips, but like because I don't film it, I just kind of put it out there. Sometimes I won't even post on like my own personal Instagram story that there's a new episode out. I just kind of like let it go.
Well, that's very good. That's crazy.
But yeah.
The word of mouth was crazy because I saw your podcast in in a lot of stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that's because you already had a following. So that's interesting to know that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like I definitely started the podcast like very early in my kind of like creator career or whatever you want to call it that I do. And I think that's also what kind of maybe strengthened the relationship that I have with the people that do follow me, because I was like giving a lot of information about, I give a lot about myself and I do that on all platforms, but it's just the person that I am. And I think that like talking about things and talking about my, like, I think talking about myself is really fun. No, but like,
it is.
But I think like talking about myself, like I'm not afraid to tell people that I've done some bad things. Like I've owned up to some like shitty things that I've done or like bad dates I've been on, stuff like that. And I think it's worth talking about because we're like so focused on like putting the best of ourselves out there. And sometimes we need to be a little bit self-reflective and realize that sometimes you're in the wrong and it's okay to talk about it as well.
That's a good point. Now that you look back, like on your first podcasts, or would there be anything you would do differently when you started, since you have so much experience now? I think like what years? It's crazy.
If I would change something, I don't think so. I think I went into it quite naively,
but that's
and quite with like kind of genuine intentions. And I think that's maybe why it was successful initially, because I didn't have this idea that I was like gonna become a podcaster. I was like, I want to talk, so I'm gonna talk.
Listen to me, people.
If you want to listen. But like I've always been that type. I've always just been the type of person to put content out there, and then whatever comes back from it.
That was like also crazy how open you were in those episodes. It's just everything was there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
afraid to go back and listen to them.
Oh my God, that would be fun. You should do like you listening and like
reacting to them. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that'd actually be iconic. Because I'm also like a completely different person than I was back then.
Yeah. How old you were when on your
I think I was
20?
I need to check. I think I was 20. The way I like actually have no idea.
But that's
when
like
I started the podcast.
That's also the age when I think like so many things happens and you like different person every month.
Exactly.
Depends on whatever's happening to you.
Okay, I was 20, about to turn 21.
Okay,
so yeah, it's been just over 3 years.
That's a lot of like things happening from 20, like in your early 20s. So
yeah.
Sorry.
No, that, and I think like that's also kind of maybe what's made it relatable to people is like I've just kind of been like, LOL, I'm going on dates, or LOL, this guy hurt my feelings, or oh, I feel like insecure about this, or you know, like I feel like I haven't had that many people around me that like maybe were talking about the stuff that's going on kind of in your early 20s. It's such a difficult time in life. I'm still in my early 20s and I'm still figuring it out. But now I'm maybe a little bit more like level-headed with it, where I feel like I haven't really looked at my analytics that much, but most of my followers are the same age as me or younger. So I feel like I don't want to put things out there if I don't kind of... A lot of the times I give advice and stuff. I've had a whole advice column on the podcast and stuff like that. So like, I feel like I want to be a lot more careful with the words I put out there currently.
Very grown up.
I try.
What would you recommend to the people starting their podcasts like me?
I think that the best thing to do is go into it with just like super like, just go into it and talk about whatever you want to talk about. And over time, you'll get to know like what topics you actually like discussing on that long form content in a sense. And you'll also figure out like what the vibe is kind of like you figure out over time, like Mood or Vibe just started with me just like telling random stories. It was kind of like story time style. And then it's changed where it's like I've had specific episodes about these topics and stuff like that. But I think in your first couple episodes, like you just need to do it and talk and then figure out maybe what your niche is later. Whereas if you go straight into a niche, like maybe you realize after the third episode, you don't have anything else to talk about. So I think that's my biggest thing is like just go into it super casually. And over time, maybe kind of like morph it into the more like specific kind of themes and content styles that you want to talk about.
But I feel like also this advice can go to many things, not only the podcast. You just need to go and try. You wouldn't know until you try, because you can sit and plan and think, okay, I will do this or I will do that, and what is the plus and minuses of this and that. But until you try yourself, you just wouldn't know what you actually like, because you can think that you like it, but as you said, like after 3 episodes, you're like, wait, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore.
Exactly. No, that, and it's like, I went into it where like I had a phone. I didn't even have a microphone. I didn't know how to edit audio or anything. I still don't know how to. But I have like a slightly more professional setup now because I have a little mic with a little stand. Yeah. But I think that's the other thing. People are like, oh, I need to have like a logo designed for it. Or, oh, I need to like have this many distribution channels. Or I need to have this, I need to have that. You don't need to have anything. You don't need to have a separate Instagram account for it. You don't even need to have people that are going to listen yet, because that comes later. The first thing to do is sit down and record.
I feel like also I made myself not to look now how many views I have, because it really doesn't matter. Like right now I'm doing it for myself. And I was like, the views wouldn't be here if you don't have a following. Like, and also to get sad over the views on your first, like it's my 3rd or 4th episode. It's just, why?
There's no point in that.
Yeah, and then I will stop. No, I will just like, I will keep doing it for myself, and then we will see. Do you think everyone can start a podcast? Anyone?
Yes, but maybe not everyone should.
I don't know why it was so funny.
But it's true. I think, no, I need to be worried with a little thing about what I'm going to say here. I think it's more in the sense like I said, I started mine on my phone. You can literally record, and the audio is okay on the first couple like on my phone episodes. Like it's not amazing, but it gets the job done. So like in the sense of like, if you can coherently put ideas somehow together and have a phone to hit record on, you can make a podcast. I think it's more of the like, if you actually have a story to tell or something that you are actually quite passionate about, it's like definitely then you should be making a podcast. But there's a lot of podcasts out there that don't need to exist, in my opinion. I'll leave it at that.
When you just started and when you just hit that first upload, have you been worried about what people would say? Was it ever on your mind?
I let go of my fear of that a long time ago, especially digitally. Digitally, I don't care. It's more like in person with people, I get like anxious and being like, oh, like, what do they think of me? Or like, especially now if I meet people that listen to the podcast,
oh my God,
I get stressed out of like, am I living up to that standard that people have of me online? Because I live a lot of my life online. So that's more stressful to me, is like meeting people in person. But like online, I've been posting on Tumblr and on Instagram and everything since I was like 10. So I really have a huge digital footprint. You know what I mean? Like I can't really.
At this point, it's
there. But like I said, like I've definitely taken like a little bit more of like a back seat now, just because I want to reconfigure and figure out like where I stand and what my feelings are and what my thoughts are. But like, no, I've never been worried about what I say or what I do.
That's good for you, because I feel like that's what stops many people from doing whatever, is thinking what would people say, especially if you share your life like you do.
Yeah, no, and I've definitely gotten some negative feedback, but it's always kind of like, I'm like, you're going to get that no matter what you do in your life. You're going to get negative feedback from people.
Absolutely.
So I might as well like try and go out there and like try something new. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like, at least you tried it and you got out of your comfort zone. That's like what I feel like I have talked about for so many episodes on my own podcast, is like, you just need to get out of your comfort zone, which like whether it's making new friends, relationship advice, or trying something new creatively or something, you just need to get out of your comfort zone, and then everything's going to balance out. Because if you never get out of it, you're not actually going to do anything that you want to do.
How else would you know? Talking about the feedbacks, is there any like positive or negative feedback from the beginning that like stuck with you, or you just let it go?
Negative, it's only been personal with people that know that an episode has been about them. But I've also never said anyone's name or any like personal details about them. So if you thought it was about you, that says something more about you than about me. Because maybe it wasn't about you. Maybe it was about someone else. But you internalized that information and thought it was about you. That's all I'm going to say on that.
That's good, because I feel like I don't care what people think. But then if I will see one negative comments, there were some comments like about my mom said that stuck with me. Till then I was like, let it go. But then also like,
yeah, I mean, luckily most of my response, or I can't go on, like there's like these like forums and anonymous apps and stuff like that, that I am not on, cannot be on. People sometimes will send me screenshots of people talking about me on there, and most of the time it's not very nice. But as long as I don't see it, I don't care. And also if you're doing it anonymously on an app, then like,
grow up.
Good for you. I was like, oh, you're talking about me? It's like, you think I'm insufferable?
Oh, so cute.
But yeah, and also sometimes it's like, okay, insufferable kind of hurt, because I'm like, I don't think I am insufferable.
But then they still listen to your podcast.
They're still listening and they're still tuning in. And then the ones like, there's also some about my looks. Sometimes I'm like, I really don't care.
What?
Yeah, but that's also like, again,
that's just a joke.
It's people projecting their own insecurities, and that's like what I've realized with negative feedback in general. Obviously, if it's like critical, then like absolutely. I can take that. But if it's about like my looks, or people just think I'm annoying, then I'm like, you know what, I can live with that. But the positive ones are great. I love my girls, because people are so nice to the point where it's like, I'll be like walking on the street and people will be like, hey, I listened to your podcast, and I'm like, I like fangirl every single time. Or like,
that's the best.
Sometimes people ask to take a photo and I'm like,
no, oh my God.
I was in Relove once actually, and I was like shopping, and a girl just like was like, are you Maya? And I was like, yeah. She's like, can we take a photo? And that's like my dream. Like that's actually my perfect scenario of me standing in a thrift store. Or I guess it's a secondhand consignment store or whatever, but like a secondhand store and a girl coming up and recognizing me. That's like chef's kiss. That's the perfect thing for me. But yeah, so like in that sense, like the positive response has been way more. And the thing is, the positive response has always been in person or then like really nicely over text or like Instagram DM and stuff. So like that stays with me forever compared to like random anonymous people on apps that I don't have.
Has there, because that's now going to be about from my personal experience, has there any friends or like whatever fake friends when you started telling you something like you shouldn't do that or like what are you doing? Or you have good friends?
I think there's a lot of people that like maybe I wouldn't. I mean, I have like 4 friends, so thank God most of them, no, all of them are very supportive. There's definitely people that like are adjacent to me where it's like, oh, we see each other places and stuff like that. But actually, like most of the friends that I've made here now, like most of like my newer friends, I've made by being online and having a podcast and like kind of like being out there with people. Whereas then like the closer friends that I have are maybe ones from like high school or like some are from primary school and stuff like that. So like they have maybe they've always been supportive. And it's like, obviously I get some people are like, whoa, you're like sitting down and like telling people about your life and stuff, like more of maybe a concern. But no, most people, at least not to my face, haven't said anything negative. Maybe I'm just like, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe I'm just not paying attention enough.
Good for you.
Or like maybe I've just like actually chosen to block it all out of my brain.
But that's also very good. But my point was, if you start anything and if any of your friends tell you like, why would you do that? Why are you doing that? Just block them, forget about them, because it's just like you said earlier, they project their own insecurities. Mm-hmm. Because like the comments that stuck with me, I hate when the people who interview talk about themselves too much.
Don't do it. I need to hear this.
Well, my friend, when I started, my mom said we're not close anymore. That's why I shouldn't do podcasts, because when I start sharing, it's awful. She told me like, who would wear that? Why would you do that? Who would even wear that? And that stuck with me. It's been years ago. So I still did that, of course, but good that I had this like build up confidence and stuff. But I know it's some people, it might stop, or if you start something, be prepared for that to block it out.
Yeah. The other thing is, once you hit like some sort of like even like a small milestone or like a little bit of success, it feels so good. It feels so good to prove people wrong. It's like it's an inexplainable feeling.
It's, oh my God, it's very what is it, not a bad person of me, but shallow person of me. But when Emrata wore my top, I was like, who would wear my brand? Emrata would wear.
Exactly. But that's what it is. That's my like Emrata moment is like, guys will be like, oh, you have a podcast? Like what? And I'm like, I show them the screenshot of my podcast being above Joe Rogan's on the chart. And that's my moment where I'm like, yeah, I have a podcast.
That one, right. No, right, above.
That's my Emrata moment.
We all need that, and that's why you do that. No, you don't do that for that, but it's just very good feeling.
No, and it's nice. It's like, look, I'm like, I enjoy doing this, and I can actually have success in it, and I can actually like hit these milestones and everything in my life. And so it really doesn't matter what you say, but it also feels really good to prove you wrong. Like, I'm sorry, I'm human. It feels good.